In this video, I'm going to teach you the 9 possible reasons why your chicken stopped laying eggs. And after that, I'll give you some bonus reasons that are other reasons that they could also be not laying eggs. And then I'll also answer some questions like how to encourage your chickens to lay eggs. Hi, welcome to the Happy Chicken Coop. Thanks for joining me today. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Also be sure to subscribe to our website, thehappychickencoop.com. If you subscribe using the link in the description, you'll receive a free ebook on the 10 best egg-laying chicken breeds. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. It's always a cause for concern when your chickens stop laying eggs. In fact, noticing this can help you identify if your chickens are sick or not well. That's why we always keep track of the number of eggs our chickens lay. This way, we know straight away if something's up. There are lots of reasons why your chickens might have stopped laying, but you don't need to rush out and buy supermarket eggs just yet. So the reason number 1 is it could be their diet. The most common reason why your chickens have stopped laying eggs is there's something wrong with their diet. Have you recently changed their diet or even changed the brand of pellets you're feeding your chickens? We once decided to stop feeding our chickens layer pellets and to feed them maize instead. Maize is just ground up corn. When feeding the girls layer pellets, we were getting a minimum of 9 eggs a day. And after feeding them maize for a matter of days, we were only getting 4 to 5 eggs today. Yikes. This was because maize does not contain much protein, and chickens need around 20 grams of protein each day to continue laying eggs. Just remember, whatever you're feeding your chickens, they need a properly balanced diet to ensure their bodies can produce eggs. If you feed your girls layer pellets and they are still struggling to lay, consider giving them a snack with higher protein, such as pumpkin seeds, oats, or mealworms. Another often neglected aspect of their diet is water. If chickens don't have access to fresh water all day, you could say goodbye to your eggs. Number 2, not enough daylight. To lay enough eggs, your chickens need plenty of natural daylight, at least 14 hours a day, and 16 hours are even better. This means that during the winter in the US, the natural daylight can drop to less than 9 hours. Your girls would need 5 more hours of daylight to lay eggs. The solution to this is to place artificial light in the coop and set this on an automated timer. This will certainly keep your egg production high, but it's something we would never do. There's a reason why hens don't lay as much during the winter. Their body needs to rest and recover for the next year. And if you don't give them time for their bodies to recover, in my opinion, you'll do more harm than good in the long run. It's not all bad news though, and your hens shouldn't stop laying completely, and you should get the occasional egg, but that's about it. Again, with this reason, as far as keeping artificial light, this is obviously preference. Some people do it. We personally don't, and that's fine. Reason number 3, broody hens. So your girls are well fed, getting plenty of sunlight, but they still aren't laying. It's time to give up on them and get a new flock. I'm just kidding. You might have a broody hen, and in this case, she won't lay eggs no matter how much protein or sunshine you give her. When a hen gets broody, she wants to hatch her own chicks. So she will sit on top of her eggs for 21 days until they hatch. During this 21-day period, she won't lay any eggs. Not good. There are obvious signs to look out for. If your hen's broody, she will sit in the nesting box all day. Your hen will become very territorial and stop anything getting near her eggs, and she'll remove her breast feathers to give the eggs heat from her body. If you think your hen is broody, we've done a video on how to stop a broody hen. I'll link to that here. All right, number 4, new additions to the flock. So you definitely not got a broody hen, but still don't see any eggs. Have you recently moved your chickens or introduced new chickens to the flock? Chickens love routine. The slightest disruption to their routine usually results in them going off lay. The most common routine disruption they experience is when they are moved. This can either be when they are transported to your home after you bought them, or you've decided to move their coop. Chances are you bought chickens as pullets, so they weren't laying when they arrived anyway. But if you've moved the coop, they will not be happy with you. Give them a few days to come around and they should start laying again. If you've just introduced new chickens into the flock, this can also disrupt their routine and egg laying. When chickens are introduced, there tends to be a shoving and jostling for the first few days to establish the new pecking order. They won't lay eggs during this time, but again, after a few days, they should start laying again. All right, number 5, certain breeds don't lay as many eggs. There are certain breeds that really just don't lay as well as others, and we sometimes forget that, especially when we read about how great other people's eggs are. Breeds like Rhode Island Reds or Buff Orpingtons can lay more than 200 eggs per year, whereas other breeds like Americanas and Silkies are known to lay less than 100. So if you're unsure about how many eggs a year your breed of chicken should lay, we have a beginner guide to chicken breeds that I'll link in the description. Number 6, now before I get into that, I just want to let you know you'll want to stick around to the end because the last 2 are really important and you'll want to pay attention. So number 6 is old age. So you've got a Rhode Island Red, which should be laying over 200 eggs per year, and they've just stopped laying. Unfortunately, as chickens get older, the amount of eggs they lay slows down. Check out this image. You could see you normally only get around 3 years of good egg laying from a chicken. If your Rhode Island Red laid 200 eggs in their first year, they should lay around 168 in their second, 128 in their third. This number will continue to decrease down to around 40 eggs by their 10th year if they make it to there. If your chickens are getting slightly older, then a decrease in their egg laying is perfectly natural and expected. There's really nothing you can do about this, and it's simply nature's way as your chickens age. All right, number 7. Illnesses can be a cause to chickens stopping laying eggs. If you have a settled young chicken that is well fed, has plenty of natural daylight, and they have suddenly stopped laying, the chances are that they are sick. Here are some sicknesses or illnesses that chickens can actually get. The first one, believe it or not, chickens can actually get a cold. Symptoms to look out for include slimy nostrils and then walking around with their beak open because they can't breathe through their nose. Make sure to isolate any chicken which you think might have a cold to stop it from spreading to the rest of the flock. The second illness is parasites. This includes lice, mites, and worms. You'll notice your chicken's comb go pale and they won't stop itching themselves. The easiest way to treat any parasite is to spray both the chicken coop and the chicken with a poultry cleaner. Something like Johnson Poultry Housing Spray should do the trick. I'll link to that spray in the description. And lastly, this isn't really an illness, but it's a change that happens every single year, and it's molting. Many people confuse the symptoms I just went through as an illness when it's actually the chicken just molting. Chickens molt each year, and it can take around 6 to 12 weeks for them to grow back new feathers. During this time period, they will not lay eggs. All right, number 8, chickens stop laying eggs when stressed out. In case you haven't noticed, many of the situations I've gone through are stressful. Illnesses, broodiness, new flock members, they're all stressful. Stress, like for most creatures, cause a decrease in productivity. In this scenario, that means a decrease in egg production. But there's a lot more that can stress out a hen than the issues that I've went through. The first one is predators. For example, the presence of predators can freak a chicken out so bad that they lose feathers, stop eating, lose weight, and stop laying eggs. Unfortunately, this problem can be hard to pinpoint because predators often lurk out of sight unbeknownst to us. Another one, and this one's important, the rooster to hen ratio. It's another potential stressor if you don't have enough hens for each rooster. If that happens, he may mount your hens too much, leading to stress and bare patches on their heads and back. If you want to learn more about the rooster to hen ratio, we have a video. I can link to that as well. And lastly, just kidding, it's going to be 2 other ones actually in one. So here are the other potential reasons that could be why chickens are stop laying eggs is number 1, someone is eating or stealing the eggs. The hens may be laying the eggs like you expect, but someone else gets to them before you. This could be a human egg thief, or it could be an animal or even one of those hens eating the eggs. And lastly, it's extreme weather. Another potential issue. Whether it is extremely hot or cold, you may notice a drop in egg production. The good news is that this is easy to overcome with enough water and other methods in the summer and insulating the coop in the winter. If you have ruled out all other problems on the list, look into your hen's emotional well-being and what might be causing some undue stress. Sometimes it's an easy fix and sometimes it takes some investigation. If you want to keep track of how many eggs your chicken lays, we have a spreadsheet here that could actually help. I'll link to that in the description as well. You can fill it out on your computer or print it off and stick it up somewhere. If you liked today's video, be sure to check out this video where I talk about hens eating their own eggs. You'll want to stick around and listen to that one as well. Talk to you soon and have a great day.